Ashley Benefield is the former ballerina turned alleged murderer. She's admitted shooting and killing her husband, Doug Benefield, but according to a neighbor, said it was in self-defense. Ashley claimed her husband had been poisoning her. It's a story filled with beautiful bodies and ugly allegations. Jim Axelrod has the full report in tonight's 48 Hours.
I started working on a story about a scandal in the ballet world. It was a business story about a ballet company that turned into a murder investigation.
Alice Robb is a contributing writer for Vanity Fair magazine. The focus of her story was a new ballet company started by Doug Benefield and his much younger wife, Ashley, a former ballerina.
Ashley's dream was to create a ballet company that would be a home for dancers who were different body types, different types of training.
Friends say Doug knew nothing about ballet, but wanted to make his new wife's dreams come true.
He just immediately thought Ashley was the most beautiful, the most amazing person in the world.
Doug was 30 years older than Ashley, and they were married 13 days after they met. They hardly knew each other and fought often, says Stephanie Murphy, Doug's family attorney.
And then on top of starting a ballet company, Ashley also wanted to get pregnant.
Ashley did get pregnant, but says she suffered from terrible nausea. At a certain point, she came to believe that Doug was poisoning her.
She accused him of trying to poison her.
Claiming to be worried for herself and her unborn baby, Ashley fled to her mother's home in Florida and did not even tell him when their daughter was born.
Ashley wanted to raise her daughter with her mother alone.
The baby's blood work showed she was healthy, but Ashley still took the baby for treatment in this hyperbaric chamber to detox poisons. Eventually, the Benefields took their battle to court, where a judge ruled there was no evidence Ashley had been poisoned. Then last year, Ashley surprisingly suggested they all move to Maryland for a fresh start.
They were packing up her house in Florida.
I heard somebody screaming outside.
And she shot him.
She told a neighbor Doug had attacked her and she had to defend herself. She's pled not guilty to second-degree murder charges.
Was she genuinely afraid and just trying to protect her baby and save herself? Or was she trying to get Doug out of her life just because she hated him?
Doug's supporters say Ashley was a manipulative character straight out of Hollywood.
To Doug, Ashley's this innocent, pure white swan, but underneath those white feathers, she's an evil woman. She's the black swan.
So for more on this, we want to bring in 48 Hours correspondent Jim Axelrod. As per usual, Jim, twists and turns. You leave us with all these questions, and I know you can only answer a few, but Black Swan, I mean, did she have a history of being a master manipulator?
Well, Anne-Marie, we got twists, we got turns, and we got pirouettes from the ballet world with Ashley Benefield. Let me just say this. In terms of Black Swan, which of course is this iconic character from the ballet world, Swan Lake, and this manipulative character, we don't really know what the facts are yet, only because she doesn't go to trial till 2023, and she hasn't really been talking yet. We can tell you this. During the course of their 4-year marriage, Ashley accused Doug not only of trying to poison her, but he accused Doug of having poisoned his first wife fatally. I can tell you that Doug was investigated many times over the course of the marriage, and no charges, no criminal charges, were ever brought by the authorities against Doug Benefield.
Oh my gosh, you added another twist. You know, whenever you guys, the correspondents in 48 Hours, come here, the stories that have to do with children always really sort of hit me hard. There is a baby involved here. Do we know anything about her? Where is she? Who's caring for her? And where's Ashley, for that matter?
Yeah. Well, so the baby is about 3.5 years old now and lives with Ashley's mother. And while Ashley's terms of how much she can see the baby are controlled, we're told, sources tell us that Ashley lives very close to her mom and sees the baby all the time. But again, we will know more as this case moves closer to trial in 2023. But I agree with you 1,000%. The fact that there's a child involved here just makes the whole story even more heart-wrenching, if that's even possible. Doug's family has said that if Ashley is convicted, they will move to take custody.
Wow. So we heard in your piece there that, Ashley told a neighbor that this was an act of self-defense. Is there anything to support that idea?
Well, that's obviously what the entire trial will revolve around. Just a couple of points there. One of the facts from the investigation is that Doug was not facing Ashley. So the question becomes, how menacing was he at the time that he was shot? But we're going to have a lot more on this very complicated, rich story that is really gripping and gut-wrenching. And that's tonight on 48 Hours.
Yeah, it sounds layered. Yes, a very special 48 Hours on a Wednesday night. Jim, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
So, once again, you can watch Jim's full report, The Black Swan Murder, during a special weeknight episode of 48 Hours. That is tonight at 10, 9 Central on CBS.